What is going on, YouTube? This is AntCap24, and today we're going to go ahead and look at the new playbook that we've decided to go ahead and do as our next series. When it's our ebook, when we do it for our VIP package, and the formation by formation that we've been doing on YouTube. We're going to keep the same format, in which we're going to break down 4 to 5 plays a week. Really got to give you a nice start to the formation, have the additional 15-ish type of setups at the end of the week for our VIP package, plus the individual sales, to give you about a 20 setup scheme each week. Now, the reason why we picked the Broncos, it's a really nice collection of what we've done in the past with our Bears full ebook and our Seahawks full ebook, plus about 5 different formations that we haven't touched. So that way we kind of look at it in a way that it's the best of both worlds, kind of bring it all together and really give a lot of the people that have been with us all year a really nice, well-rounded formations that they can kind of feel good about already having some base to it as they add what we add in each week. Now, it's kind of something that I want to talk about, which is our VIP package, something that we have on our website that we do a subscription base. What that basically means is that we give you access to anything we've done all year, whether it be the past or the present or the future. Whatever we're doing, you get as part of that subscription-based price. It's $9.99. And it basically gives you a month's worth of access to everything. A lot of times when you go ahead and look at it, if you just want it for the 1 month, you cancel at any time. Once you cancel, you lose access, but you basically have the ability to get a full Bears ebook, a full Seahawks ebook, and the start of this if you just want to do it for 1 month. If you wanted to do it for 2 months, basically what ends up happening is you get the full Broncos ebook with it, as well as the Seahawks and the Bears with it, which basically gives you 3 ebooks for $20. I mean, that's probably the best you're going to find out there, bar none. The way we do it, we do already have 400 videos on our VIP package, so there is a lot there. So that's why it is something that you can kind of, if you're one of those ones to jump into information, it's definitely right there for you. If you like to go side by side each week and get your formation schemes, that's why we do it individually, because some people like to do it that way, by as they have the ability to get into it. Maybe they can only do 1 formation every 2 weeks because that's what they got time for. So that's why we have the both pricing models, just to make sure that we've got everybody who wants what they want. So we just finished Seattle's playbook, and we're going to have that available as a full ebook for individual sale. We're going to put it on sale for this week up until Friday for a $15 price. So if you would like to have it as just a individual, you keep the PDF, you keep the videos, all that type stuff, $15, it's yours. If you want to have access to it, you can do it for $10, and that gives you access to everything, but you do only have access while you do the subscription. That's basically how that works, right? So let's talk about the Broncos playbook, because that is something that we want to make sure that you kind of see the things we've done in the past, the things that we're going to do in the future, and kind of tie it all together. So we'll start up with single back. And what we did in the past is we went over single back deuce close in the Seattle Seahawks playbook. We went over single back wing and wing slot in both the Bears and the Seahawks playbooks. So you definitely have a little bit of a nice base when it comes to those. Now, coming to the rest of it, we did a little bit of the single back bunch. It was called single back bunch ace in Seattle. Not a whole lot, but something in our cover 3, cover 4, and man beating 1-2-2 scheme. So you have a little bit of that in there. But gun doubles is something that we have not done, but I really like the gun doubles, I mean single back doubles in this formation. Got a lot of nice plays. Tight end post is a nice play. PA boot comeback is. Then you've also got this really nice play, PA flow, which I think is the base play for the scheme. Really has a nice ability to kind of put some stress on your opponent. Not a lot of people are expecting to have that C route that's very similar to the one and gun bunch week, in which they you have the PA post and the corner strike, because in this formation, which is not something people see a lot, so you can definitely use that to our advantage. And you've got the PA draw shot, which is something that was the best play back in the day. I broke that down way back in when it comes to what it is. Not as powerful as it was back then, but it's still a great play. So that's basically the single back doubles we'll definitely want to look at. I really like single back wing tight. It's not going to be one of those formation schemes where we're going to get 20 setups like we normally do, but it is something we're probably going to go ahead and cover, just because it's a nice scheme to be able to pound the rock, especially when you want to close out games, especially when you want to go ahead and get those hard yards in which you need to get, short yardage plays or goal line plays. I do like this. I also like there's a possibility of having a nice cover 3 bomb in this that most people are not going to be ready for because it doesn't scream the ability to have a bomb in this play formation. So definitely want to look at that. Now let's look at the gun. And the gun wing slot offset already broke down when we did it in Seattle. It's one of those formations that when I look at a playbook, I kind of want this formation to be in it for my personal use. When I go ahead and break these down, I'm changing playbooks for myself, okay? So I used the Bears throughout when I was breaking that down, and then when I was breaking down the Seattle Seahawks, that's what I was using. Now I'm going to go to the Broncos. The reason why is I'm always ahead of what I teach because I want to be able to go ahead and be able to have real game experience. But sometimes in game, you want to see how people adjust to what you do, and then you get different setups, and then I go through all that labbing to when by the time it gets to you, I've cut out 25% of the stuff I thought was going to work online that didn't work. Because when it came to real life situations, it just wasn't as feasible as I thought it was going to be. So that's why when I say I'm now in the Broncos playbook, I just did Weekend League this week with the Broncos playbook and wanted to get 25 games in order to make sure that I had a nice base of what I wanted to teach after I already studied it. So gunwing slot offset, one of my favorite formations in the entire year of Madden 18. We want to make sure we still have that. Now, I really like this gun doubles halfback week. And this formation, to me, is going to be one of those that any of those sim guys out there that want some play calls that don't have a whole lot of adjustments, we're going to have some for this formation. It's going to be kind of one of those that if you like to get to the line of scrimmage, and because we do a lot of adjustments, have a formation that you can just go into real quick and not a whole lot of adjustments and just go ahead and hike the ball. There's a lot of great route combinations in this formation that you can do that without doing a lot of adjustments or just very minimal. And we'll definitely give the other side of it as well, because we do like to give you the best absolute type of setup, so you do have some with them, but this is one of those that I feel like you can kind of get away with very minimal, so we're definitely looking to that one. And then see the gun stack halfback week, we did something very similar in the Bears playbook. It's not exactly the same formation, but a lot of the same principles are in that and the same route combinations, so we're not going to get into this one too much, but you can definitely have a reference if you want to kind of look at the Bears in that one. And then we just got done doing the gun Y off trips week. One of my favorite plays in the game is slot to buck. So you're going to have that as a nice option. And in this formation, you've got the high-low dig, which is not found in the other one, which gives you a nice C route with the table route as a combination to it. So it definitely gives you a little bit of a different route combination you can kind of mix in there. Now, gun trips tight end is something we definitely will tackle as well. This is one of those that is a staple to several Madden pros out there that use this as their main offense. And basically, when I say this is their offense, and if you get them out of it, they will struggle because this is what they run, right? And this is kind of their gun bunch week. And there's a couple out there that use this, and it's a great formation. Most of them use it in the Chargers or the Patriots playbook, but in the Broncos, I really do like it. It's got the PA shot post. It's got this double in sail, PA slot corner. You've got this X spot, PA counter go, drive post, inside cross, all great plays, right? So something that we can look into. Gun bunch, we've kind of dibbled with when we did it in the Bears playbook. Now, a lot of people ask me, can we do gun bunch, gun bunch, gun bunch? I don't have a problem breaking down gun bunch, but the way I feel about gun bunch is it's so widely used in the community that there's really a lot of people are so familiar with it that it's a tough formation to really find a lot of new stuff out of it. And whatever we do find new, it's kind of one of those that, maybe I'll do one-off videos and say, you know what, if somebody wants a gun bunch, out of the West Coast, what can you find that's special? Maybe I'll do a couple here and there, but to do a whole scheme on it, it's just kind of counterproductive on time because of the fact that it's just so widely used that, your best of the best out there, pros, they use it, and they use it in a way that it's been so much duplicated that I just don't think that it's something that I like to do from a creative standpoint, right? So the next one is gun tight. Let's talk about gun tight because this used to be called gun snugs. Used to be my favorite absolute formation in the game in Madden 16. Broke it down from this Broncos playbook in quite an extensive manner. and I took the year off, about a year and a half of using it, right? I didn't use it much. I had a little bit in Arizona last year, but for the most part, I wanted a break from it because what I like to do is I like to keep the game fresh. And for me, doing the same thing over and over again doesn't make me want to go back onto the console, right? A lot of people are the opposite. They want to dominate with their best of the best. Well, we'll get back into gun tight. I used to call it the fun snugs, and hopefully, we can go ahead and break it down, have some fun with it, and see how it correlates to Madden 18. As a lot of the stuff was all concept based in Madden 16 when we broke it down. So a lot of it's going to still work, but then zones work a little bit differently with 91s and whatever the case may be. So we're going to have to find out exactly how that works. So I'll bring that to you, and then. The last one, we already looked at the gun trips tight end flex. We just did that at Seattle, so you can have that as well. The gun trio Broncos is something that we'll break down as well. It's going to be something that I like as in conjunction with the gun tight end, because of the fact that they look very similar, but they got a lot of different route combinations. So if you're able to go in and out of these, it kind of looks like you double up your play calls because of the fact that they look very similar as far as how they line up, right? So those are the ones that we're probably going to look into. If there's one that I missed that you say, what, Ant Cap, I've been running this formation, this playbook and this formation I love. I'd like to see a little bit of a twist on it. Please let me know in the comments below. We could definitely take a look at it. We're looking at typically 4 to 5, maybe 6 if we really love something the more we get into it when it comes to formation breakdowns for this before we move on to our next playbook. So, that's what we wanted to make sure that we brought to you to make sure that you're real excited about it and kind of go from there. So we do appreciate you guys. Definitely want to make sure that we're going to start our scheme tomorrow. If there is a suggestion on which one you may want to start with which formation, please let me know as well. That way we can kind of start you off with something that you're excited about. So flood those comments. I definitely want to hear your feedback on that. That way we can kind of get a good base on it and see which ones we want to start teaching and kind of go from there. We do appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next video tomorrow, guys. Thank you.